Hi, I'm Bekupin, and you're watching Rappler. I'm gonna start this off on a personal note because a few months ago, give or take, we shot a reality show that features entrepreneurs who've come up with solutions to problems that have popped up during the quarantine or problems that have always been there, but I guess the urgency is more felt now because of the lockdowns and the restrictions brought about by the coronavirus pandemic. So I was very lucky to be a mentor to these entrepreneurs. I'm doing air quotes because honestly, I think I have may learned more from them than they learned from me. Project Go is brought to you by GoDaddy Asia and AXN Asia. In it, we find entrepreneurs from all over the Philippines and help them make their idea real. So, disclaimer, a handful of these ideas are already real, and you'll find out more about them in a bit. Please help me welcome the first batch of finalists of the premiere season of Project Go. We have Arnel Andal of AO Innovations Tech, and we have Dominique Trinidad of Loopstore PH. Hi, guys.
Hello, good morning.
Hi,
Hi,
Bea.
guys. Okay, it's been a month. I don't know time anymore. Kailan ba tayo nakita? That was in early October, right? So
Yeah,
it's been a while. It's
October.
been a while since we saw each other. How are you?
I'm
We're
good.
good. We're good. Thank you.
How are
Okay,
you?
so
Yeah.
it's been crazy, but I mean it's exciting. It's surreal to see ourselves on screen. Well, they'll see more of you guys. Well, they have seen more of
Thank
you guys because
you.
we're recording this early, but this is airing on a Friday or on a Saturday somewhere there. So they at this point they would have seen you already on Project Go. Okay,
Yeah.
so again, sinabi ko na to off air kanina. Don't worry, this isn't a pitch anymore. Because the first time I met Arnel and Dominique, they were pitching their ideas for Project Go.
Yeah.
This time, it's not a pitch. This is obviously not a pitch. I want to talk more about the businesses that you have, the innovations that you're introducing and have already introduced. So, um, quickly, siguro, like how and maybe why did your businesses start?
Dominic, go ahead.
Okay. So actually, our business is Loop Store, but we originally came from sip.ph. So it started around 4 to 5 years ago, founded by Pachola Espina, who's unfortunately not here today. So it started because there was a need for like sustainable products in the market, and we needed waste management solutions. So one of our like breakthrough products, I would say, is the metal straws here in the Philippines. So, yeah, that became very popular here, and we're innovating right now, looking for other solutions such as sugarcane bagasse containers and like um, honeycomb craft paper bubble wrap for the online stores and such that.
Arnel?
Hi. Oh, okay. I've had my business since 1995, but I constantly innovate, and I do have inventions. And for this particular venture or project, I partnered with Edsel Lorenze, and we started the brand, the product, AO Innovations Tech, just last May. So during the pandemic, because due to the need from the medical industry, from the medical institutions, specifically PGH, for help in their technical needs for the COVID patients, we made their full face patient mask. So out of that came the frontliner or healthcare worker full face full face mask.
Okay. So we'll if you can demo or at least show, or we can insert links for the story page later on so they can actually explore your products and your websites a little more. Maybe more of that later. But okay, so why did you decide to give Project Go a shot? I think the call out started in August, right?
Yeah.
So how did you find it, and like why did you guys decide to join?
You can go first.
Okay, I'll go first. We'll just alternate. Yeah, you're right. So for us at AO, it was me. I was watching AXN. I do watch AXN, by the way. I like it. I enjoy the shows, and I saw it as an ad there, and I thought it was timely that we should also actually not take advantage, but make use of what is offered, which is a platform for public awareness. Actually, we needed some exposure because the similar products that we want to replace cost like $2,000, and those are not affordable for our healthcare frontliners, specifically our doctors and dentists. So we wanted to have a product that's low price, and we have been doing that. We have been subsidizing it, and with the help of AXN and GoDaddy, I think we have achieved the public awareness that we want.
Sorry, before we jump over to Dominic, I just have to say that when you first pitched your idea, my first thought was like, how is this not on Rappler? Like, it wasn't so much anger, but like confusion. Like, why did we not hear of this earlier? But yes, sorry, I just wanted to say that. So Dominique,
So we applied. Actually, I think we saw an ad of Project Go like in our Facebook feeds or something like that, and then we said, oh, why not join with like something like an idea? So it was originally just like an idea, and like we didn't really uh, know like if we would be pushing through or becoming actually part of the finalists of Project Go. So we were talking about like how they're like banana leaves in the Philippines, and maybe we can use it into sustainable like food containers. So that's how it started, and yeah, now we're part of the top four contestants. So that's really exciting.
okay, I'll try to not make this sound like you trying to pitch your products again because you can watch that on the show. But okay, parang ano lang, siguro just like a quick a summary of the innovation that you're introducing. Of course, they can find out if they visit your sites and they visit your social media and they watch the show. But briefly, siguro, like what is it exactly that you're offering?
First, okay. So we are a innovations tech, and we make pandemic relevant full face masks for healthcare frontliners. Uh, this is one of the popular models. One, you can see it. So this is currently being used by hundreds of dentists and doctors, so they can go about their livelihood and they can be productive. This replaces the typical $2,000 offerings by known brands. This is 100% assembled in the Philippines. Most of it is made in the Philippines, and some of it is from known China manufacturer of snorkeling masks. We innovated that and made our own to produce the full face blower assisted respirator mask. Thank you.
And Dominique?
Yeah, so what we pitched in the show are banana leaf food packaging. So since there are a lot of reliance in deliveries nowadays, we want a solution to decrease the plastic waste that we contribute to the society. So by producing banana leaf plates and food containers, we'd be decreasing plastic waste. And how to do this is basically we have there's gonna be a there's gonna be a machine that heat presses them into molds, and also we sterilize it, and it's good for food packaging and food storing. So, yeah.
Okay. So I was wondering because, like, well, obviously I have my own experience of shooting the show and preparing, I guess, for the show. But what was it like for you guys? Because you also like, it's not like I mean, because while the show was being shot over, it was a very short shoot. It was like a week, right? A very short period of time. You still had your business ongoing. You had other things going on. So what was the experience like for you guys?
First, I have to skip school because I am 18 and I am in senior high school. So thankfully, my teachers and the school were very understanding. I don't think people know this, but after we were told that we were part of the top four, we had like 1 or 2 days to prepare to like shoot for the next week. So obviously that was like a crazy experience for all of us, and we had to like rearrange a lot of things. I know Arnell will share something also later, and yeah, so it kind of turned our lives upside down for a week. But I'm very grateful that we got to be part of this because it was a really great experience for me and my team, obviously, by getting mentorship from a lot of different coaches. So yeah, very thankful for that.
Arnel?
Yeah, okay. The experience was surreal for me. So I'm a bit of an inventor, and I've been struggling with, the recognition that Philippine inventors should have,
Yes.
to have an opportunity to show their ware. We don't really have much of a support structure government wise, sadly. And I feel that I'm very thankful that AXN and Project Go came up with this program. I have about four inventions I'm proud of. I think I can contribute to the world. And right now, for the pandemic, this is the highlight of it. And I feel that the event, although it was we were rushed, no, it was such a it was such a
Mm.
hectic schedule. We were informed like 2 3 days before we were set to go on quarantine, and it so happened it was my wife's
Oh yeah,
monumental
I
milestone birthday.
remember this. Yes, you told
Yeah,
us. Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
was like exactly the weekend eve of
Yeah.
her birthday, and the pilot pitch was going to happen during her birthday. So I was actually in parallel worlds, and I was quite stressed by that. And when I saw that all the other contestants were like half or less than half my age, I was honestly, I wanted everyone to win. I wanted the young ones to win. They deserve the recognition. And for them to come up with the ideas that they have now, oh, those are great. I only started inventing when I was like late 20s. So I'm happy. But it was quite toxic, but the camaraderie was there and the mentorship was there. So I'm very appreciative for that.
No, it was funny because like syempre kami naman yung tense moments lang namin was like the first few days on air na parang shocks, like how do we like, I mean, because like okay, Maggie is obviously used to being on camera, but like for the Tongs and I, we're not exactly used to, like being in the
Yeah.
entertainment side of things. So it was awkward, but I feel like it was nothing, like any anxiety we felt was nothing compared to what you felt, because I remember on the anyway, I remember like just observing you from afar, and I was like, my God, I can't imagine how nerve wracking this must be right now. I'm sure it was nerve wracking because one, you're being filmed on camera, and like you have so just this X amount of time to talk about your ideas that are obviously like you want to flesh them out.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, just sharing. So okay. Um where was I? Ako yung nawala. Okay, so like obviously like, you also talked about the like beyond the both the personal and the business adjustments. And speaking of adjustments, like this whole the pandemic has obviously forced everyone to adjust
Yeah.
on a personal level. And well, for AO, obviously it was born out of the pandemic. But how has the whole this whole this alien world wherein we're staying at home,
Yeah.
um personal protective equipment is a must, like if you brought ourselves back a year ago, parang sobrang unthinkable yung nangyayari ngayon. Like how is it affecting how you as entrepreneurs think of how to move around, think of how you move forward with your businesses, or how does it affect how you function, as both as people and as entrepreneurs?
It's my turn. Okay. Okay. Well, we adapt. I mean, my partner and I, he's been in business for about 20 plus years, or no, 17 years. I've been in business for more than 20 plus years. So we adapt. We've learned to adapt. And with regards to the pandemic, I never really stopped. I never really let it stop me. I'm a bit OC that way, but I'm very safe. But I don't let it stop me from what I want to do. During the pandemic, we were able to come up with the innovation. This one, and we I was able to invent also the AMA venti bike. So all this during the pandemic. So that particular invention, I think, was on standby just in case the pandemic worsened in the rural areas. So uh, it's, I think, for another talk, but I think the mere fact that you can make two inventions, innovations during the pandemic says a lot about what we stand for and what we believe um, in life. You know?
Dominique?
Yeah. So in our case, naman, like we had a lot of bazaars and like we had our store, a physical store before the pandemic, and obviously we had to stop all of that, and we have to close down the store, unfortunately. So we had to move to online. So we parang we focused on our online store on our website and try to improve it more to um, make it a better experience for the customers, obviously.
Yeah.
And during the pandemic, like what Arnel said, like you don't stop innovating. Like actually, due to the pandemic, we were able to come up with various ideas of new products, such as the one we pitched, which is banana leaf packaging. We also offer now sugarcane bagasse packaging to also help reduce plastic waste. And yeah, because there's a lot of opportunities also during the pandemic on what we can do, and yeah, that in a way kind of helped us.
Yeah, I just actually want to plug, if you need to ship things, obviously we can't travel as freely as we used to. If you need to ship things to the province, you might want to check Loop Store. They have what's the term for
Yeah.
that? I might butcher this, Dominique.
Yeah.
You have
We have
eco-friendly
yeah,
right, go
bubble
ahead.
wrap actually. We have a eco-friendly bubble wrap made out of craft paper. So it's obviously not plastic, and for shipping it like protects your products and to shipment to the provinces or like even around Metro Manila. So it helps protect your products, and it's also environmentally friendly. So, plug.
Okay, I want to ask another question for Dominique naman, because like eco-friendly, sustainability, like these are important, but also they've become buzzwords in a lot of ways, right? For a lot of
Yeah.
business, and not just business, even like journalism, right? Marketing. So, what does it mean, like for Loop Store? What does it truly mean to be sustainable? What does it mean to be eco-friendly?
Um, so while we started like 4 to 5 years ago with the idea that we want to reduce our plastic consumption and like our consumption in general. So by having like reusable products such as reusable straws and lunchbox and tumblers, and all of that, we're doing our part in the environment. So I think it became like a buzzword recently because of there was a lot of like talk about climate change, which is actually happening, and people wanted to do their own part on helping solve the issue and not let our uh, world die, obviously.
Mhm.
So yeah, it became a buzzword, and we're riding on that trend technically, and it's becoming more and more popular. And obviously, during the pandemic, we still have to become sustainable and eco-friendly since there is so much waste that is being produced by the medical industry, food industry, and just everything in general. Because now we're relying on like single-use face masks, PPE, and all of that, and most likely they're not recycled and will end up in our landfills or in even the ocean. So, doing our part as human beings, we should we should start um, becoming more conscious about our consumption, basically.
If I may add also,
Yes.
Dea, that's
Yeah.
one of actually, that's I think my my group's greatest invention is to help prevent waste. One
Right.
of our inventions is this. It's called the circuit UPS. See that? Can you get
Yes.
see that? Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can see it.
Yeah. I'll just make this one. So that is the world's smallest UPS.
Sorry, Arnell,
I
for the tech illiterate, what's a UPS?
Okay, it's it's uninterruptible power supply. It's when you have those brownouts, and it provides
Mm,
power for your computer. Um, this one is the first Philippine invention, and it's the world's smallest UPS. And having this on the circuit boards of your machines will prevent those machines from going down for at least 10 years. So imagine the e-waste, electronic waste that it can help solve and save. So that's about 10 million tons of electronic waste it can help remove from the dumps. So when it comes to eco-friendliness, we really try to do that, and hopefully the government can support the inventions and innovations by the inventors in the Philippines. That's my advocacy.
okay. Actually, I was supposed to ask this question to Arnel lang, but I think it's also applicable for Dominique and Loop Store. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I think in recent weeks, parang the discussions on how scientists are very much undervalued in the Philippines, or kung hindi undervalued, parang their significance,
Yeah.
the necessity of science and scientists in the Philippines tends to be downplayed, or at least it's not appreciated. So, like, because the two of you offer innovations, in effect, um, inventions, or adaptations of existing um, products for specifically the Philippine market, diba? So parang what are the barriers that you personally experience as inventors, as innovators in the country? Matawa si Arnel.
You can go
I
first.
think yeah,
I think you can go
yeah,
first for this one.
I might need to go first on that one. So, yes, there's a lot of personal support from the government employees and the people around us, but in terms of institutional support, that's lacking, to say the least. Um, there are honestly, okay, from the intellectual property office to the FDA, I've had huge stumbling blocks. There are, and even the legal profession in legal institutions in the Philippines are not equipped to help inventors come up with the legal documents for the intellectual property office. So um, there are not many law firms that are intellectual property law firms. They just enforce law patents, but they cannot help you with patents here for the most part. So that and the DOST wasn't as helpful also, sadly. We didn't have much of a support. There was some support from UP, but you're pretty much on your own actually here. And processing anything took us, 6 months to a year per agency. Just with Circuit UPS, we do have the patent for it already here. But if you want a patent, you want that's recognizable here and abroad, it'll take you years
Right,
as a Filipino entity.
right. That's not
Yeah,
encouraging at
that's
all
not
Yeah.
good at
for
all.
especially.
So I
Okay, I
could
want to
say
get the
it's
perspective
quite
also.
frustrating.
Right. I want to get the perspective also of Dominique, especially because you are like, I don't wanna overemphasize kasi the fact that you're in senior high school or whatever. It's not to me because it's not a novelty, but it's a very interesting perspective that you're
Uh-huh.
18, you're young. Perhaps unlike me and Arnell, you have not been exposed fully as much to the bitterness of the world out there. But I mean, you've also encountered your own difficulties. So like, like how what's the situation for innovators, for people who want to think out of the box in the Philippines so far, in your experience?
Um, So first of all, I actually came from a science high school before moving to my new school right now, and we had research, but it was very undervalued. Like what I
Okay.
see, parang yung gusto nila is yung mga mapupunta sa competition and all of that, and like a lot of students research every year, and like after that, there's no follow up or follow through
Mm.
for that
Right.
research. So like there are a lot of great ideas actually, even for people as young as me, to innovate in the Philippines, but there's no support or little to no support actually from the government or like DOST. So I saw like that talaga na there's a lack of support in the sciences here in the Philippines, and obviously I think there are like some grants possibly from the government and that, but it's not very well marketed, or like it's not well known. So not a lot of people who have these great ideas
Mm.
will go to the government or like to other agencies for help, and they usually strive on their own, and it's very hard to become an inventor and then have your ideas, and basically you're on your own, right? So
Mm.
yeah, that's a difficult thing, and especially in the Philippines, there's a like what Arnel said, there's a lot of like barriers to like for because of like laws and all of that. Basically, the bureaucracy in the Philippines makes everything so much harder, and everything like people are discouraged because of this, and
Yeah.
they might think that it's gonna take a long time, so like maybe not. So if this is fixed, I feel like a lot more people would come out with great ideas in the future. So yeah, that's basically what I
Right.
want to say. Yeah.
Okay, now zooming out naman for the like talking about businesses and SMEs, like how do you think the Philippines can better support SMEs and innovation in the country? And when I say the Philippines, I don't just
Yeah.
mean government, but obviously we need government support, you know, to encourage businesses, to encourage innovators, to invent more and to not be afraid to push forward their ideas. Kasi I get the idea na parang, oh nga, no, parang if it's so difficult to just get like to run through these hoops of the bureaucracy, parang nakakawalang gana din to you know push yourself forward. So what are the things that the Philippines can work on, or what do you think the Philippines can improve on to better support SMEs and inventors?
You?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
So well, like what we mentioned earlier, there are really like little to no support for inventors, and I think that even though there are like some grants by the
Mm-hmm.
Philippine government, I think it should be better publicized. You know, because people should know like what is available to them, and if the government is like not really publicizing it, they won't people won't be like enticed, or like they'd be more hesitant to do it. Also, like I'm thankful for shows like Project Go, which highlight like business ideas and inventions that uh, I mean a lot of people participated, and they have really good ideas, I believe. And because of this uh, show, people were able to think of various products or inventions that they can use to pitch into the show.
For my part, I well, people in general and as individuals should not be discouraged by their circumstances. I believe in that. So no matter what the limitations of the government institutions are, we have to persevere in our own way. I was telling my contestant friends that we had cases. Even if government doesn't help you with intellectual property rights as much as they should, there are hacks around it. Learn about the hacks. That's what I did. I just kept applying for the patents so that my intellectual legacy continues, even if it's so difficult to pursue that locally and internationally. As long as you have the legal date stamping, that's a
Mm-hmm.
hack. It's all about adapting to the situation. And for me, what government could do, I mean, with its limited capacity, it seems, is
Yes.
to at least give us a platform wherein the inventors, innovators get to meet Joe public,
Right.
for private people to look into, and companies to look into the inventors' profiles and products, so that there can be it's more like a matchmaking. That's what they
Right.
can do at least,
Right.
because it's so difficult. Even if you go to DOST, they'll tell you they can only offer loans, not even grants. Those are not grants if they're loans. So that's the limitation of it. So hopefully DOS and data agencies can sort through your company and your product, and the ones that they feel deserve it, are deserving, can be put on a platform, be it in the newspaper or online, that invites private investors and companies to look into the particular invention or innovation.
Right. I mean, obviously, hopefully, Project Go will be one platform in which other people can learn more about the innovations that you're offering. But you need to go beyond that. Definitely, something
Yeah.
institutionalized and much more long term. Okay, this will be a slightly corny question, but I mean, based on my conversations with you guys when you were taping the show, I'm pretty sure you have a lot to say. So, this show talks about making your idea real. And in your case, like a lot of your ideas have become real and are real. So, what advice can you give budding innovators, those who might have a tiny idea already planted in their minds? Maybe they're hesitant, maybe they don't have the opportunity to pursue it, or for so many reasons. But what advice would you give them if they do have those ideas and they do think that these are ideas they should be pursuing?
Oh, uh, uh, very good question. For budding innovators and inventors, I would say invest in yourself. Be it in education, be it the friends that you keep, be it in the community that you keep online. That's important, that you align yourself, you surround yourself with people who will grow with you or make you grow. So that's the minimum that you should be able to do for yourself. And recognize which institutions or groups can help you along the way. Um, Study what you think you will need for that particular innovation or invention, and think it through properly. When you do something, follow through. You have to follow through. That's what I tell myself. I have so many ideas, but sometimes I was lacking in follow through. So it's important to always follow through in what you want to do. And if you really truly believe in it, dedicate your life to it. That's my suggestion and proposal for people who want to be inventors. And please, once you have that idea and you know it's really unique, have it patented. That's
Very
it.
important. I think, to be fair, I don't. I think a lot of people forget that. Like the protections
Yeah.
that they need to get when
Yes.
they do come up with these innovations.
Yeah. A patent
It's
is
a
a
very
right to
important
sue.
reminder. Right.
It's a right to sue.
Right. Dominique?
Oh, yeah. So I think there's no harm in trying and like exploring what ideas you can make into reality. During the pandemic, obviously people have more time, and people are exploring a lot of things about themselves. And if you have an idea, if it is possible for you, um, then why not go for it and then look for mentorship about from people who are in the same industry. I mean, yeah, there's no harm in trying. Take risks as early as now if you can, because you're gonna regret it in the future if you didn't just take the risk. So that's my advice.
Thank you. You know what? That's something I just realized also. Like, on top of, like, obviously it's an entertainment show, it's a reality show, but I think what I valued the most from the experience was like, it was this rare opportunity, I think, for our paths to cross and to swap these ideas and these like hindi nga, not necessarily nga, like the innovations themselves, but the things that have been floating around our individual worlds, like just
Yeah.
swapping experiences and because I honestly learned a lot from you guys in the few days that we were together. Very very quick time together. So anyway, thank you for joining us, Arnel, Dominique. If they want to check out your businesses, what sites or social media accounts should they be following or visiting after this interview?
So definitely check out our website sip.ph and loopstore.ph. Check our Instagram, sip steel straws, loopstore.ph, and our Facebook pages, like again, loopstore.ph and sip.ph. And you can see more of our products and explore more about sustainability. Basically, we offer a lot of different solutions for to become more eco-friendly and become more conscious about your consumption. So if you check that out, that would be great. And maybe you would also want to switch to some of our products and become mindful consumers as well. Yeah, it will be linked below naman. No? May
Yes,
ganun
we
ba?
will. I will make sure to
Link
link it
below.
in the story. Link below.
like
Arnel?
subscribe.
Okay. I like to thank Rappler and Vegas for this opportunity, and like to thank AXN Project Go for this opportunity. And you can find AO Innovations Tech at aoitech.asia and at Facebook at AO Innovations Tech. So we are here to save lives. So thank you to all the entities, all the agencies, and this company for helping us do it. At AO Innovations Tech, we believe in life protected. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for your time. I know you're very busy. You have businesses to run and ideas to incubate and, things to innovate on. So, thank you for watching Rappler. To know more about not just them, but the four finalists of Project Go, visit their websites. You can catch Project Go every Thursday at 8:25 p.m. It airs exclusively on AXN Asia and is also simulcast on the AXN Asia and GoDaddy Asia YouTube channels. Support local businesses, support Filipino innovators, support Filipino scientists. This has been Ecopin. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.